Today we are going to be making some taqueria style carne asada tacos. Me and my wife love going to the Mexican restaurant so that way we can eat some tacos cooked on the plancha, which you can consider the Blackstone. All right, to go over our ingredients, I have about a little over 2 pounds of chuck steak. Now, these are a little bit thicker than what I usually get them, but if you go to like a Mexican grocery store where they have the actual butcher, the butcher deli right there, you can ask for diezmillo de res. That is basically chuck steak. Now, this is a pretty common way of getting carne asada. Another cut you could use, paleta de res. It's a little bit on the lean side. It doesn't have all this marbling like chuck steaks do. You got, chunks of fat, but all this stuff, when I cook it on the Blackstone, it is going to add flavor. You can do this in a cast iron pan also. Now for seasoning, very simple. I'm just gonna hit it with just some lemon juice. Now I'm gonna keep this to the purist. There's some people out there that say that you don't need a whole lot of ingredients when it comes to carne asada. And I agree, but I don't mind, trying out stuff. So, juice of lemon. We're gonna hit it with just some salt, black pepper. This is optional, garlic powder. This adds a nice flavor to it, but that's all we need for this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cube this up in little pieces. Okay, first we're gonna take our knife, we're gonna cut this in half. That way you know what you're working with. Then we'll just take our knife and just cut little slices out. Just about this big. Not too big because we're gonna cube these up, and then once we cook everything, it's gonna be just little bite sizes of meat that we're gonna be putting in our tacos. Now that we have our strips, we're just going to cut like about a 1/2 inch of cubes. About right there. That's about what we're looking for. Just like that. That's all we're really looking for, is just little pieces like this. So I'm gonna cut the rest of this up and I'll show you how I season it. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna hit it with some lemon juice. Got a little seed right here, let's take that out. Now we'll just lightly season with a little bit of salt. Freshly cracked black pepper. And some garlic powder. Okay, we're gonna give this a mix. Okay, I got a feeling we're gonna need a little bit more lemon. So add some more lemon juice. So that's the juice of 1 whole lemon. I think we should be okay because once the salt starts extracting some of the water from the beef, we should be okay. We'll just season with just a little bit more salt on this side. Some more black pepper. And a little bit more garlic powder. Now at this point, just you could take a little piece, cook it on the stove, see if you like the seasoning. If you need a little bit more salt, just add a little bit more salt. This is how I do pretty much like family parties and stuff like that, or do catering. And I'll just test a little batch real quick and make sure that this batch is okay. And we'll let it sit for about an hour or so. But at this point, once it's up to your liking for seasoning, just put it in the fridge for about an hour. Okay, so we're gonna turn on all of our burners on this Blackstone. Okay, we're gonna get it going. We're gonna set these 2 mediums about medium high, and we're gonna turn these down to low. We're gonna focus all of our energy right here in the middle. All right, to start off, we're gonna lay down just a little bit of oil, spread that around. Now, like I said, this is the area that we're gonna be focusing all of our attention on. This side is just gonna be where I'm gonna be putting some meat and probably heating up tortillas. All right, so let's lay down our meat that we've been marinating for a few hours. Now you want to spread this out. But you want to keep all of it together. You're going to start seeing a lot of juices come out of the meat. And you just want to pay attention to that because you want to make sure that as those juices evaporate, it stays within the meat. So spread this out as much as you can. So I'm going to just continue on trying to spread this out, but keep it all together. And then we'll let this go for a couple minutes, and then we'll start mixing everything together, kind of rotating the meat as we go. So now you can see we got a lot of juices right here just coming out. You want to keep that in. We're going to go ahead and rotate everything in. Bring those juices in. That's flavor right there. That's that fat rendering down. See how I didn't get rid of none of that fat? That's fat rendering down, and that's going to be a lot of flavor. All right, spread this out just like we did. Again, try to keep as much juices as you can within that meat. Contain those juices. Contain those juices, y'all. That's flavor right there. Trust me, once that stuff starts evaporating, we're gonna start getting some really good color on our meat. I mean, for how much moisture in this, you can actually boost this up to about high heat if you want to. Okay, now you can see a lot of that moisture is evaporating. Now we're turning in a lot of those juices into the fat that we're looking for. That's what's gonna add a lot of flavor into this meat. Now we still have a little bit of rendering down on this beef. We're gonna just let it go a little bit more. Now I bumped this up to about high temperature. So make sure you wanna get every little piece of meat on the flat top. All right, after a few more minutes, now you can see all of those liquids are evaporated. Go ahead and just give this a mix. Give it a rotate. And get some, now we're gonna start getting some color on this beef. As you can see, some of it's already got some nice color. Just keep rotating it. We want a nice golden brown color on this beef. So we're looking good. As you can see, we're getting some nice dark color on there. Okay, I think we're calling it good there. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot everything on this end. That way it could just, on low heat, we have this side. Bring all its juices along with it. All right, so lay down a corn tortilla, let that heat up. We got some of those juices coming over here. Doesn't hurt to put some of that on there. Fat is flavor, folks. Add a good amount of carne asada. Now we're keeping this simple, folks. We're just gonna be adding some salsa. I have this salsa on my playlist, my Mexican playlist. You guys will be able to get this. This is a really delicious salsa. I like to add a good amount. Now we'll just add a little bit of onion and cilantro. And finally, squeeze a lemon, y'all. And that right there is all we need. This is all it takes. Very simple. Cheers, y'all. Just for a little bit. That's just a delicious bite. This right here is phenomenally good. Layers of flavor right here. Delicious seasoned meat, salsa, the little crunch from the onion and cilantro, and then just a hint of that lemon juice. Really good stuff, y'all. Cheers. I'm dripping, y'all. Juices.